job, and my awesome students oftentimes ask me questions that are really thoughtful and engaging and interesting. And a lot of times they ask me questions about my opinion on things, and I tell them that I'm not going to tell them my opinion, but I will tell them what different people believe. I feel really strongly about not brainwashing my students, and I feel really strongly about letting them have an opportunity to figure out their own opinions based on equal representation of different ideas. And so I try my best to say, like, this is what this particular group of people believes, and this, and have different understandings. Like within the church, there's disagreement, but these are the positions that they believe and why. So for some reason, the other day I had a student ask me, because students will still try and get my opinion out of me. Sometimes it happens because, like, for example, there's things in the Bible about, women and such, and them knowing the Bible and teaching it. And I happen to be a Bible teacher and a woman, so my position on that's kind of unavoidable. But other things I can try and hide and hope my students figure out for themselves, with good resources that I give them, hopefully. So one question I was given the other day that was supposedly controversial, but it doesn't seem like a big deal to me. I had a student ask me what I believe about aliens. And the thing is, like, aliens are, like, well, we haven't had any yet, but the Bible doesn't ever say there's no such thing as aliens, and it doesn't ever say that there is such a thing as aliens, so, like, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Like, there could be aliens. That's cool. Then I had a student who said, well, like, if an alien is just someone not from this earth, then aren't angels aliens? And if you're going to call angels aliens, heck yes. Then there are aliens that I believe in aliens. But most people would not agree with that definition. But there is also, like, that really interesting idea that C.S. Lewis had, where he wrote the Space Trilogy, where there was, like, every planet had its own intelligent life, and our planet kind of, like, messed up in, like, the whole sin thing, and then they lost contact with the rest of the planets. So they were the Silent Planet, which is why the first book is called Out of the Silent Planet. And then this guy gets kidnapped and taken to Mars, or Venus, whatever the other one is the second book. And then I'm pretty sure Venus is the first one. But anyways, they go to this other planet, and there's, like, different intelligent species, and they are not fallen, but they, like, know about our planet and interact with all the other planets. And that's totally cool. Because so, like, aliens, they are interacting with each other. Yeah, I don't really know why that's such a big deal to people, because, like, we just don't know. There's plenty of things that I don't know, and I'm okay with that. There's plenty of things that I do know, and I'm also excited to talk about those interesting things, which is why when students ask me about aliens, I talk about C.S. Lewis instead, because that's way more interesting. Because again, you get the English teacher talking about stuff, it's probably going to have a literary reference. That's just the first one that came to mind. If you gave me time, I could come up with maybe a couple other aliens in books that are interesting. Like science fiction as a whole genre. Like Ursula Le Guin's The Left Hand of Darkness. See? Done. Also really interesting. Not like a biblical presentation, but just a really fascinating book. And one time I wrote Ursula Le Guin a letter about that book because I was presenting on it, and she wrote me a letter back, and it's one of my most treasured possessions because Ursula Le Guin is awesome, and I have a letter from her, and I love it, and I love my students.